Maybe not.
Yep.
I think the Barrel Boys is ready to play their match. I don't know if you want to just hop into that. APM versus Barrel Boys.
Let's do it.
That will be the next one.
If we can do it without throwing a commercial, I'm all about that. I'm sure the stream is all about that life.
Yeah.
And we're just going to figure this out.
Barrel Boys, of course, I think runner-up in the last Kings Weekly, number 10. I want to say they got second place. So a very well-established team at this point.
Yeah, they're
very
like
solid players.
Arguably number 2 in North America right now. Right, in my opinion.
I don't think that's
I think
arguable.
Maelstrom's looking really good right now.
Yes, lately they have turned their play around a lot, and I think this tournament will probably decide that place. But for right now, I would say that Barrel Boys are in that spot.
It's definitely very close between Maelstrom and Barrel Boys for number 2. Tempo Storm, no one can really argue that they are the best team in North America at the moment. They like to say the world, and by they I mean Zoya. But we don't know that
Shots
yet.
fired.
And is that going to be our series?
I think so. They've agreed to let us go, or not agreed, but they said that they can get us into the lobby. So once we get a Stormcraft, we'll be good to go. Barrel Boys, do we see them run the Illidan Sonya combo? I think we did.
I think so too.
Gosh, I can't remember.
I think so too.
It has been a while since we casted them.
Now, Barrel Boys is also the first time we saw. No, we saw. Did we see Barrel Boys play
Thursday?
Diablo? Is that Barrel Boys?
No. Figured out map now. So we're getting the map maybe in a second. Hold on, let me get my sheet. We saw them play Thursday.
Kubi's got his cheat sheet.
Yep, you're right. We did see them play Diablo.
I think that's where the flips were won.
Huh. This is where the flips were won. How exciting. How exciting. Alright, so they're banning out the maps.
Of course, we have seen ZPs on Evil Geniuses play as Diablo as well.
Right.
EG not present today.
Yeah, I don't know where they are. Didn't sign up. Maybe they have some members that are out that are busy. Jake, you got to get that background out of here. There's no Vikings in play.
The Vikings are rip. Good night. Goodbye.
So what did chat think of that game? Are they excited about it?
I hope chat liked it. Chat, let us know if you liked it. Did you like the Vikings? Vikings 100% pick ban so far. Fact. That is a fact. Thanks, chat.
Gosh, they're so good with statistics.
Science.
You guys are all right. You know your maths. We don't. We can't do maths on stream.
All we can do is drink coffee and get it all over our cup.
Your cup needs help, man. It needs to be washed. Look at that thing.
I washed it today.
What did you do to it?
Like,
look how dirty this thing is.
It's just coffee.
What do you mean? It's just you like slobber all over. What the? It's gross looking already. You washed that today?
Yeah.
Look at my cup. Do you see any grossness on my cup?
It's a black
cup. You can't see it.
I'm saving it for later.
Flabbergasted.
Quality discussion here while we wait for our next map. Beyond Reason, message me when you are ready.
Oh, you know what? We can talk about bracket updates. Let's see if we have them. Oh, look at all these bracket updates. Yeah. Okay, ESV Wildfire has taken their match over Death and Taxes. They will move on to face Tempo Storm. That's ! bracket in the chat, guys. If you want to see that, I'll give you a link to the KotS.challenge page.
Those jerks were disqualified.
They were. I guess they didn't show up in time. So
Those
Murlocs
jerks
advances, and they're going to move forward to fight against Lunatic Esports. But I just thought I saw...
It looks like Murlocs defeated...
Oh, I see. They already played their set. Wow, that was fast.
That was quick. So Murlocs is already in round 3.
Yeah.
Lunatic fell to Murlocs. Tempo Storm is going to be facing Wildfire.
Yeah, Vortex is going to be playing against Maelstrom in the team kill. That's a best of 1 as well. That's unfortunate. But that's just how the seeding goes from the past 2 weeks, or is this the second weekend? This is the second weekend for this season.
Second weekend of this season. Yeah, this season's a bit...
Staggered.
So last week we had a break because Valentine's Day. I believe Kings is still going next week, but then the week after that is PAX East. So literally me, you, and C. Steve, the 3 people that run this event typically. Mainly C. Steve that runs it, really.
He ran the event from PAX South. I helped him set it up. So he may still run the tournament.
I
next
think
week.
we're taking a break off.
Okay,
Maxi,
so
I'm pretty sure there's a
tweet at Kings of the Storm if you want an answer. Ask him, hey, I heard your kids were going to PAX. You still running an event?
And if you're going to PAX
Yeah.
and you want to talk about Heroes of the Storm,
because that's what we do all day. So
just find us.
We'd love to do that with all you guys.
there's not that many people there, so it'll be easy to find us.
Yeah, look for this silly haircut. It's a kind of like a warning beacon. Like,
Warning
do you see this thing?
beacon.
Look at this.
Vortex versus Maelstrom going to be happening round 2. The
Yeah.
team kill.
Team kill.
Bup.
Any fun losers bracket matches here? We just saw that Vivid Gaming, now Lunatic Esports, is going to be playing against Beyond Reason, the team that we just saw. Wonder if the Vikings will reign supreme there again. Who knows? Other than that, we are waiting
Can
for.
we just go cast Vikings?
But we don't know if they're going to pick Vikings.
They have to if we follow them.
Oh, I see. That's that's the clause. Oh, I see. Maybe an invite to a game. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Stormcraft is 45-31 if you want to hop into that.
So many numbers.
Just letting them know they are good to go with
I-
the draft.
I wish I knew what I just did.
Jake destroying his internet browser. That's it. There you go. Oh, look at that. They have the nicely spaced out team title.
Barrel boys.
Lobby's getting populated. We need 3 more people. Other than that, we are ready to go.
Of course, in honor of the Lost Vikings, I have the Lost Vikings portrait in game. Requirement for anyone that's passionate about Heroes of the Storm. Where's your passion, Gooby?
I have it. I have the portrait.
Activate it.
What do you mean activate it?
Use it.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No passion. The golden hammer? Who uses that? Gooby, of course. Infatuated. With Sergeant.
Infatuated?
Is that a word?
No.
Good.
Infatuated. What was the other word you looked up earlier? You were very so indubitably.
No, you spoiled it. I wanted to
yes,
use it.
Yes, you forgot about it.
Oh.
You weren't going to use it.
Indubitably correct, Gooby.
Oh.
Or is that redundant? English is hard, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Indubitably. You should have had like a mustache. Like, indubitably, yes.
Imagine if I had a mustache and a stick and I just switch to the webcam and I go, indubitably.
Can you just grow a mustache? Could you just do that for me?
I look terrible with a mustache.
What do you mean?
I look like a cop. I actually just straight up look like I'm riding a motorcycle with my
Can you just
with my
get some
aviators.
Oh man, if you had a mustache and aviators for the next stream, that'd be the best. Chat, please get on him. Tweet at SolidJakeGG. Tell him to grow a mustache and wear aviators for the next Kings of the Stormcast.
If you buy me aviators,
Yeah, I'll get you some.
I will get a mustache.
Really?
Yes.
You'll do it.
For one stream. Serious.
You'll do it.
I will do it
Oh
for
man,
one
I'm
stream.
so excited.
I'll have to wear aviators over my glasses. I guess I could find my contacts. I have contacts somewhere.
I'm so excited.
I'm not. If Allison's in the chat, she's probably saying no, no, no.
She has no choice. The chat's gonna make you do
The
it.
chat is law. I think we're almost ready to start.
Yeah, we're still just waiting on that. Infatuated. Oh man, it's such a delay. Is it 2 minutes right now?
I think it's only 1 minute.
Oh. All right. What do you want to see? More Vikings? You just want to see a Vikings played every game all day?
How about that Vikings hype says blanks? Really high. I like seeing new things. I don't care if we see Vikings. I'm down for I'm down for just seeing new things. More Dibbles play. More Sonya play. I'm looking at my mouse pad. We're not going to see Murky.
How about Nova?
I'm down for that.
You down for that?
I'm down for Nova play.
All right. Barrel Boys are ready. APM. Are you up for the challenge? Of course, this is still a best of one, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last winners bracket round. This best of one. We're going to continue to follow winners bracket matches.
Essentially, yeah. After this, it's the winners semifinals, I guess. And those are best of threes, and then all of losers is best of one, if I'm not mistaken. Even the loser finals.
That's the only one I'm not sure. I want to say losers
confirm.
finals, but this doesn't tell us.
It doesn't tell us.
This does.
See, Steve will tell us.
He'll tell you guys in chat, or you can tweet at Heroes of the Storm, Kings of the Storm. Too many Twitters. Too many Twitters. Oh,
Time's ticking on our draft.
Is it?
Yeah, they're going to be timed out at this rate.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure what's going on with APM. We're waiting for them.
Said that they just sent them the link.
They've got 50 seconds.
Now, of course, we're using this this Stormcraft client, device, app, whatever you want to call it. It's a web-based app, of course. It works very nicely right now. No qualms, but of course we're not using the in-game draft right now because we don't have control over the coin flip that happens at the beginning. So we don't know. We want to be able to say, yeah, these guys already won the coin flip, and then they choose maps based on that. So it would be kind of annoying to go in, flip the coin, go back, and then you have no control over it afterwards. It's a mess, basically. Can't do it for tournaments. So right now we're using the Stormcraft to draft. When that is fixed and we have control over those small features, we'll be switching to the in-game draft, which looks very nice, by the way.
It looks like it's going to time. I don't know what happens if it times out. I've never seen it time out.
They have to make a new one. Oh, they're ready!
Oh, 2, 1!
How exciting.
Just made
Do
it.
you like my... I guess that would be like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of...
I thought of Tron.
No. Come on. I think Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was actually inspired by Tron.
Yeah, must have been. Must have been.
Look at their set.
Regis Philbert. Is that his name? Is that his name?
No. No. Not even close.
Is his name Regis?
Yeah, it's Regis.
All right,
Regis,
so his last name
I think it's Regis Philbin.
Philbert.
Philbert? It's like... when Jake's washed up, not a caster anymore, he's going to start a new comic series called Philbert. All right, we see bans on ETC and Rhaegar. Oh my god, Philbert.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So things are starting off here. The meta is real. The map is Dragonshire. ETC is banned, like you said, followed by Rhaegar, and then the first pick immediately onto that Uther. If I'm not mistaken, it was APM that had double support last game, and they were successful in playing that. So they will not be able to pick that up. Do they prioritize Malfurion to deny the power of the double support? They pick up Nazebo.
They have to.
I think Malf makes a lot of sense. Yes, they do.
They knew. They ran it last game. They're well
smart.
aware
Yeah.
of this strategy.
I think that's very smart, and I approve of this wholeheartedly. The response out of Barrel Boys will very likely be Tassadar, and then just a big damage dealer. So Vala, Sergeant Hammer.
Hey, that's not necessarily true now. They have a chance to grab Illidan and Sonya.
That's a great point.
There's a lot of ways they could pick up Asmodan. Not to say that he doesn't fit into that like big damage dealer slot, but if they want to go for the isolate a target and get rid of them, also they have Nazebo too. So those are targets to leap in and try to stun out so that they don't have to deal with that Ravenous Spirit, because Nazebo's first picked for a good reason. He does a ton of damage if uninterrupted. With ETC banned out, there's not a lot of warriors now. I mean, Muradin was very common before. He did have his rewind move to level 20. That becomes a lot more difficult. Oh, we're like half right. Each of us are half right. Tassadar and
middle of the road.
Yep.
Middle of the road.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll take it too. All right, the Illidé Tassadoo gonna be picked up for you.
Tassadoo.
All right, and APM at this point,
they haven't shown their hand yet.
Yeah, they could easily go like Sonya Diablo. As weird as that is, it's like not out of the question, because having a nice front line for the Ravenous Spirit is always a good thing. But I think they'll probably opt just for the safer picks on something like Hammer Tyrande, or Hammer Vala. Pick up the big damage dealers, prioritize your tank class. There's a lot of options on the board for the tank. I mean, Stitches would work very well when you have Zebo and Malf, because you have the zombie wall, you have the root, you have the hook.
Mm-hmm. Good points. I'm not sure how familiar APM is with running Asmodan. It is a very...
That's true.
I'm not going to say difficult, but you do need to practice it a good... Muradin.
Okay, I'm very surprised, honestly.
Muradin does provide a good bit of control for Nazebo with the stuns on Avatar. He does have the Stormbolt. So this is looking like a protect the hammer / Nazebo style. They're going to play a very defensive approach to their team fights, much like we saw in the last game.
Yeah.
That said, I really would have preferred to see Diablo over Muradin.
I agree. I actually agree.
I think he just fits that role better. It can still work. Maybe they just don't feel super comfortable on Diablo.
I feel like Barrel Boys is going to pick up Asmodan, and
they can go Sonya Stitches.
That's true too.
Or just Sonya into another damage. If they're feeling confident with their ability to dive, they might do that. Sonya Kerrigan. Diablo.
Asmodan. Lord of Terror, Lord of Sin. I believe.
It could work. I just don't think that it synergizes too well with the rest. The Diablo pickup, of course, makes a lot of sense because of Nazebo. They now no longer need to dive.
Could be.
To get in to deal with the Ravenous Spirit as soon as... Oh my gosh.
Lord of Terror, Lord of Sin. I win.
I didn't completely disregard it like you
win.
did with the Diablo play, but you do win this time. Okay. As soon as I saw the Diablo pick and I thought about it a little bit, okay, that does eliminate their need to dive in to get rid of the Ravenous Spirit. They can choose to go for something that's a little bit more sustained style. Okay, still double support. I like APM's draft. I like Barrel Boys' draft. I can't really say that I give one team the edge here. They both have compositions and strategies that make a lot of sense. They have synergy with, you know, other members of their team. And I think we're just getting the lobby set up the rest of the way. I will let the teams know they are good to go at any moment.
I'm just taking to the Twitterverse to make sure all the nerds know that we are live at this event. And boom, bam, boom. Lord of Terror, Lord of Sin. What was the last pick? Brightwing?
It was Brightwing. They did go for the double support. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of potential here. I don't think we'll see Emerald Wind. I think it'll be Cleanse Blank Heal.
Well, they already have a very passive style play. And Emerald Wind could...
It can lean to that,
but so they already have a healer, so their support in terms of keeping the HP up is already there. Yes, Blink Heal would definitely throw that way over the top. However, Emerald Wind, as soon as Illidan dives in,
but you already have Cleanse and Poly. It's going to be interesting to see what they prefer because both can work. There's no right choice. The Emerald Wind.
I would agree with that. Blink Heal works to deal with Asmodan poking from ridiculously far away and doing that sustained damage over time. Emerald Wind works to deal with Illidan jumping in and trying to get to the back line to start putting pressure on. Either of those could work. I guess, you know what, it's going to be one of those feel type things. How's the fight going so far? Who is the stronger of the two players? They can keep an eye on the amount of stacks that Asmodan has at that point. Is he actually going to be that scary late game? How versed are they in this particular strategy? Of course, when I say this strategy, of course, we can explain what that is. Asmodan has an ability. Oh boy. Did I forget the name of it already? Yeah, I did.
The channel?
No, not the channel. That's all she'll burn. The name, Globe.
Globe of Annihilation.
Yeah, no, but what's the talent? The talent name. We went over this last time during the cast. No. Anyway, okay, sorry guys. Every time the Globe kills a creep, actually I think it just kills anything, right? Anytime the Globe kills anything, you get +2 damage to the Globe from that point forward. So a lot of the talents are building into the Globe. They grab Black Pool at level 10. This powers up their abilities by 75% while standing in the pool. So essentially you're looking at long range shots because it has a really huge range. You can poke to the back line very, very safely. So Asmodan really doesn't have any escapes, but he doesn't need escapes if he can sit super far back and throw those skill shots away. So it's a very new strategy. We've seen it developed over the past, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. Mostly initiated by Tempo Storm. A lot of other teams have picked it up, and we're seeing counters being developed for it because it's actually that strong. However, let's get into introducing these teams while Jake perhaps does some... No, you're good on the production side. All right. On the blue side, we have McIntyre on Illidan. Blink's going to be playing Uther. Cathan Luck on Tassadar. Trouble on Asmodan. And Fury's going to be playing Diablo. And that, of course, is a Barrel Boys. And on the red side, we have 4 APM. You guys saw these guys last game. We have Sage on Nazebo, Meadowtown on Muradin, Mr. Savage on Sergeant Hammer, Hu Nguyen on Brightwing, and Hackage on Malfurion.
I applaud you for being able to pronounce that name because I will not even attempt it.
I heard the butchering last game. I was like, all right.
I'm done.
I got it.
Look how much damage Fury took immediately having to tap that well. You know, just nice aggression with those roots, the lockdown available with the zombie wall and the root.
Jake.
Early aggression.
It was Taste for Blood.
Taste for
Blood. That's the name of that talent at level 1 that we do see that Asmodan has grabbed.
I was thinking like hunger for snacks, and I was like, that is not right.
I am pretty hungry for snacks too, particularly flips. I don't know if you know where I can get some of those. Oh, wait a minute.
Diablo's got them.
Diablo does have the flip, so we're going to see a lot of those this game. Of course, that overpower talent, flipping the target over. Diablo, he now has seen some changes to his, I guess, the utility of his kit. He can shadow charge in, which is what you'll see as a dash forward. That's his Q. Stuns the target slightly, enough time for him to overthrow that person to the other side to allow his team to capitalize and follow up on that.
I mean, really, Blizzard has just kind of tweaked the control. They've
it
really
felt a little sloppy before.
They ironed him out. Yeah,
the combo ability, I'll say, of the two talents was sometimes finicky. Like you would overpower, not overpower.
It was so
you would shadow charge in, and they would be able to get away sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that the utility, or at least the design concept of the two talents, was that they could be chained together.
But what you'll see now is you'll see the shadow charge, and immediately the flip will happen.
Sure.
And it's very
sometimes not
powerful.
if it's just used to keep
that's true.
someone out.
Right. But if they want it, the option is going to be successful.
Absolutely.
And it's a nice strong play to have. This tri-lane bottom, or tri-man bottom, with the heroic skin here on Sergeant Hammer is going to be able to provide a lot of aggression.
I like what I'm seeing out of Muradin here. Reverb. Enemies hit by Thunderclap have their attack speed reduced by 33% for 3.5 seconds. Of course, the big target there is going to be, for the most part, Illidan. Tassidar's Odin will be slowed with that, and also Diablo will be in the front line as well. I like the idea of going for I'm not really so much keen on his level 4. I think that Muradin should probably start shifting towards ult when we see that right wing has caught herself out of position just a little bit here. The root was pretty good. Fury taking quite a bit of damage, so just about an even trade in that sense. No one dying, of course. Teams are more or less even on that experience.
Yeah, very close game so far. So
anyway,
let's just talk about the compositions in general.
Sure.
I mean, we've got the Tassadar Uther, and that's going to provide a lot of sustainability for the Illidan. And we've talked about Illidan Sonya as a very powerful like dive style, but Diablo kind of fits in that too because he charges forward, he gets that flip, then you throw the Metamorphosis down, and suddenly you have this kind of very mobile front line that can displace and just dish out a lot of damage.
I'd be curious to see how the team fights develop post level 10 with the Ravenous Spirit, and there's such an easy counter to it on the other side. Who's going to end up saving the heroics? Because they're basically trading heroics for heroics. And Ravenous Spirit might just be saved so that the APOC never goes down. And if that's the case, do they never throw their heroics out? It'll be cool. We'll have to be paying attention to see what that exchange is like. At the moment, we do have, both shrines were capped for Barrel Boys. They do seem to have a good bit of map control. Once again, the levels are fairly close. Both teams are racing to get those level 7 talents that are somewhat impactful.
Yeah.
Not quite as impactful as some of the later talents, and definitely not those heroics that we're going to see. That's when the team fighting is really going to escalate. It's going to scale up.
Here's the problem, though. APM really needs to put some pressure on A, the Azmodan, or B, the structures. You either need to end the game early or make sure Azmodan doesn't get too much farm. Now, right now, everything on the Azmodan is manageable. He's got 36 bonus damage, but that will continue to scale. So if they're not able to at least keep him somewhat restricted, his farm is going to get out of control in this game.
Actually, that's not really a whole lot, is it?
It's normal. It's not crazy, but it's steadily going up.
I mean, you would hope to see something like 100 stacks by the time you get to, well, not quite. Probably like level 13 you want to see 100 stacks?
Yeah, around the 10-minute marker.
Okay. You are the Azmodan Pro. I will refer this knowledge to you. Jake with a level 10 Azmodan. Oh, hype!
I actually have not played this style at all since it has come to fruition.
Sage getting booted.
The punt
that
is
was,
real.
Probably a big misplay from McIntyre there, unfortunately. I think they had the kill secured, and the boot, perhaps he thought there would be enough damage that the boot would be what was needed to kill him. Not the case, and Nazeebo is going to live to see another day. Now, both teams so close. The experience, I can't say that one team has the edge getting to level 10, which is the huge race on this map, or just any map in general.
I'd agree if Burr Boys didn't have this Dragon Knight. This Dragon Knight will be able to allow them to push down a few towers, push down these lanes very quickly. They're actually not doing the best job. Okay, so they are using this flame to then soak up the wave. As soon as I say that, the Azmodan turns around to do it. Soaking up the minions before they do expire from that flame, making sure he gets those stacks onto the Globe of Annihilation, and picking up these bottom stacks as well. His farm starting to ramp up a little bit. The Dragon Knight is a nice tool for that. And once you hit level 10, it starts to scale much more quickly. Because at level 10, you get Black Pool. Black Pool is a 75% bonus damage in all of your abilities, and that makes it much more easy to blow up the minions pretty much in one shot.
All right, we have double cleanse available on each side. Brightwing and Uther, of course, those are the only 2 heroes in the game that have that available at level 7. Level 10 has just been hit for Barrel Boys, Metamorphosis, Divine Storm, Archon. We expect to see that Black Pool. We were talking about that. That powers up all of his abilities by 75%. And, of course, APOC, mainly to deal with Ravenous Spirit, but it also provides quite a bit of crowd control for Illidan. If he has targets that have been stunned out, that is a field day for him to get in, heal up his HP, dish out his damage through his auto attacks while he's in Metamorphosis. How about the other side, Jake? What are we looking at?
Well, we've got pretty much standard stuff across the board. That Ravenous Spirit is going to be doing a lot of damage in the fights, and we do see the Blink Heal picked up. So the Cleanse Blink Heal not going for the full-on disengage style, really going for more the utility, mobility, and just sustainability.
Utility, mobility, sustainability.
The Black Pool, I mean, look at this. He's got that Black Pool. He's able to one-shot those minions. The Blink Heal might be needed here for and it's actually
nice
not going to be
from
enough.
McIntyre there. That was just in range for him to get in there with the Q to kill Brightwing. Nicely done.
And that's what this is when his power starts to scale ridiculously.
I was about to talk about that. Now is with the Black Pool, he can one-shot those waves, and the number for the bonus starts to go up. The reason I had said originally, I'm like, oh, he should be at about 100 stacks at level 10. Well, not quite, because generally the benchmark is 200 stacks for level 20. But again, it scales up so much more between 10 and 20.
You got to think of him as like an 18-wheeler, like a big fat truck. It's got really bad acceleration, but once he's rolling, that momentum just carries forward, and he maintains that speed. So the pacing in which he grabs those stacks is pretty slow, but he's already at 128, so it's already started to scale a lot more.
Those are called big rigs?
Big rigs.
In some parts of the country, they're called charging chucks.
Charging Chucks. Speaking of Chuck, there he is wandering down the middle of the lane. Charging Chuck going, looking for a snack. He is one gross looking dude.
What? Those are some ugly looking blackheads coming out of the back of his back though.
Illidan can very easily solo these bruisers, but he's just making sure they are not there. If he saw an opportunity to potentially steal them, maybe he would, but that's not going to be the case. And actually, APM getting a little bit aggressive here on these front giants. They start them, and they're just going to be picked up here.
They didn't have the information. They weren't quite aware of where everyone else on the team. They could have just been hiding in this push, and things could have gotten real sour for them real fast.
Yeah, almost level 13. We see Brightwing trying to get our mouth out of here in the Globe of Annihilation, doing a huge chunk of damage. That's why you need this double sustain to try to sustain through that. But the problem being is the Asmodean will continue to get stronger throughout the game.
Yeah. He's got about 80 stacks right now. And as you mentioned, that damage is starting to tick up, and they have to be aware of this during those team fights. And if the longer the game goes on, the worse it's going to get. So that said, the fact that Barrel Boys has a level lead, is that a big deal? That they're going for a late game strategy and they're already ahead?
It is. This is very problematic for APM. Considering that the way you beat the strat is you deny the stacks. And it's hard to deny stacks if they have Asmodee and Tassadar, because in the early game, Psystorm weakens the minions, the Globe kills them. At this point, he can just one-shot the minions if he's going to be using Black Pool. And just see, we're seeing that synergy. Psystorm goes down, Globe. But so you either have to end the game early or prevent those stacks from getting out of control, and they're starting to go up so frequently. I mean, almost 200 bonus damage at this point. We're only 9.5 minutes into this game.
So what is the best way to deny those stacks?
You either put a ton of aggression and try to dive onto the Asmodean to kill him and keep him out of lanes, bully him back, or you just don't let them rotate a lot. You need to apply aggression. You have to force them to play out of their comfort zone. But if he's just going to be able to run around soaking up the lanes, it gets quite scary.
So you would say that Diablo is a good pickup to be with Asmodean just for that peel.
Yep.
And he has all of these things, these tools available to him in the early game with the Shadow Charge.
They've got
and
years of working together. You know.
Yeah.
I never played D2. I assume they were buddies in D2.
Diablo and Asmodean, I could go on for days about the lore there, but we have a big fight. Package caught himself a little bit out of position. Illidan diving in. He has to metamorphose out, actually, with the Ravenous Spirit doing so much damage. And a lot of heroics were traded there. Mr. Savage now out of position with the overpower is going to be enough to lock him in. He gets down really low HP. McIntyre dives in to finish off that kill. Nicely done there.
and you cannot. Oh, McIntyre is just going to barely get hit by that shield just before the Dwarf Toss comes forward, trying to pick up the kill. Muradin will sacrifice his life for that. Ice Block, Blink Heal is still available, but if his team is going to stick around trying to wait for him, okay, it might have been risky. The correct play would have been to send a few members over here to try to put the aggression on. But maybe they didn't have their cooldowns available to actually deny that. But that's another thing we didn't actually even mention is, yeah, Diablo is a great pick for a lot of reasons, and Apocalypse is a guaranteed stop on Ravenous Spirit. It just, as soon as you see the Ravenous, you hit R, and it stuns anything underneath those Apocalypse stacks that do spawn under every enemy hero, and it's going to stop that Ravenous, whether he disengages it or gets hit by the stun.
Alright. Dragon Knight has been capped for Barrel Boys. And we can see that APM was still capping these bruiser camps up in the upper right. And if you're still engaged in the fight while the Dragon Knight is being captured, you're allowed to finish capping it. Otherwise, all of the camps disappear at the time. And they're going to be pushing in to this mid fort, and they're going to probably posture to take the first structure of the game. Barrel Boys it is. Now you can see that they're being still a little bit careful here. The HP pool for the Dragon Knight is not quite as high, of course, as it is late game. It's still considerably squishy, considering that the output of damage it has for these structures. So they're going to be careful. They're not going to go in too hard. And we're just going to see APM try to defend, stall it as slow as they can. They're not going to pick a fight. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, especially considering those level 16 pallets that have now just been picked up for Barrel Boys. We see some Blood for Bloods in there. Double imposing presence to deal with the auto attacks, especially Sergeant Hammer. That's a big one. And actually, I was told that the splash damage affects the opposing presence. So even if you shoot someone that's near,
that's actually crazy.
Opposing presence, that slows down Sergeant Hammer as well. So things to keep in mind as Sergeant Hammer makes things difficult while you're sieged up.
Yeah, well, like you mentioned here, APM just trying to hit level 16.
They need it. They gotta be careful. They just have to soak. This is a wave. This won't quite get them there. But Brightwing, I like exactly what Brightwing's doing here. Getting that soak in the top lane. She does have that phase shift available. You can see her using it here just to get back for the rest of the fight. So get a little bit of experience. They are going to hit level 16 before the next fight ticks, and this is going to give them quite a bit more damage output. Ziva's going to get that specialized toxin. We're going to see probably something like hover siege mode. Oh no, executioner for Sergeant Hammer.
I think Chthon Luck, yeah. Notice Chthon Luck was just dancing around. He's waiting for that globe. He's waiting for Trumbull to throw the globe down, soak up that wave of enemies. And at this point, Asmund is starting to get kind of silly. 318 bonus damage.
Yeah.
13 minutes in the game.
150 stacks, so he's getting there.
This is the highest I've ever seen it in a competitive match. And both of the two highest matches were here on Dragon Shire.
Okay.
So he is actually incredibly powerful right now.
How do you feel about the Executioner on Hammer? I'm not sure I like it. There's not a lot of slow and disables.
You have the root and you have Muradin, so you pair it with Avatar, and it's good.
Right, but it's just a micro stun. It's hard to time those autos, I would think.
And the Bullhead Mines do provide a slow as well, so there is a bit of synergy, so it does add just more damage in general, but this is looking incredibly difficult. The Shadow Charge is going to knock back our Murder Player, Dwarf Tossing to safety. He has so much heal over time, trying to just keep him alive. The Ice Block is nice, but I don't know if the Blink Heal is going to be there. The Apocalypse is everywhere, so he does Blink Heal, but not going to be able to survive that situation. Muradin going to end up falling as well, and Barrel Boys are just going to flip Mr. Savage into the ground. That Ravenous Spirit going to town, but not going to find a kill.
That was smart from the Diablo player. He saw the Ice Block on Brightwing. HP was low. He knows the timing for it, activates APOC right as soon as the Ice Block is done, and the only way that Brightwing is getting out of that situation is to blink heal to another target. Well, guess what? The way APOC works is the circle appears below every member of the enemy team. So no matter where he blinks to, unless there was a creep nearby.
Right, that's the only situation.
That's the only other way, but he was basically guaranteeing Brightwing was going to die. It was smart play. Even if he had cleansed himself, he still gets hit by the damage.
Right.
Like if he had survived that, yeah, he'd been able to walk away probably. But cool play. I thought that was a neat thing to activate. But then in return, he used the APOC to guarantee a kill on another member. That's why we saw the Ravenous Spirit basically going unpunished. However, Barrel Boys saw the opportunity to I'll just back up.
Yeah, we'll just leave.
They get kind of wasted.
Yep.
Still, though, that was the right time to use Ravenous Spirit. Unfortunately, Barrel Boys is well aware of this fact, though.
Yeah, if the right time is after you've already lost a few members, sometimes it's just not going to work out. But while Barrel Boys is in a pretty good position here, Dragon Knight has another 40 seconds, and it's wheeling away at the first towers of this game in the back keep walls.
This is the time when they can start getting aggressive with it. It has lost quite a bit of HP, but once you get towards that 15+ minute mark, it has quite a bit of HP. It does so much damage to these keeps, so the teams need to get in, start feeling a little bit for it. Meadowtown getting overpowered and still has quite a bit of heal over time, but is really on the wrong side of things. He's going to have to use his Dwarf Class to get out.
This
Raven Spirit is doing a ton of work. We see the APOC going down quite late, though. He's able to cancel and sprint away. Gazebo was, of course.
Hammer is getting completely separated from his team. Illidan opting not to chase. They want to blow up this Meridian player. The flip is there, but the support healing is really shining through, keeping people alive. Fury with the Shadow Charge. The Hammer is picked off in the back line. Oh my goodness, just barely staying alive.
Heal.
The sustain of this Diablo is real right now. McIntyre on Illidan, doing quite a bit in the front line, just dashing in, doing what he can, and backing on out.
That was like a 45-second fight. And one person died. It's just very nicely done from all the supports there, just keeping everyone alive. We saw the zombie wall going down into Diablo's like, all right, for sure he's dead. Nope. Cooldown for the heal came up, kept him alive, just barely. Everyone has like 10% HP at the end of the fight.
Take a look at that talent, Kubi.
The 5th circle. Is that what you're highlighting there? Yeah, that's a scary one. Even more utility from Asmodee, the slow. Now, that would make sense if you had Executioner on that side, if Illidan had picked it up.
That's actually...
Oh, no, he lost it. That's right. He doesn't have... Illidan no longer has Executioner. It would make a lot of sense in this composition.
That's disgusting to think of Hammer at 20 with Asmodee at 20 on the same team.
Yeah.
Please never mention that again. I don't want to think of that.
But you don't have the range to go with it. You're giving up the range when you grab Executioner. And it hasn't really made... Well, no, not so much the range, but the movement ability.
You don't get Hover Siege, yeah.
No Hover Siege.
Good point there.
Hard focus grab for Malfurion. It's going to allow him to get more heals off. And I don't know if that's necessary. I think the Roots might have been a better choice considering they have Blink Heal as well.
Yeah, I can't disagree. And Criterize is going to help them blow up those targets at this point in the game, but we still haven't really seen that happen. I mean, not only, like we said, that one fight in the last engagement, only one member died. And this 20 advantage is really being put to use as they're just putting this aggression on, keeping them defensive and rotating back to pick up the shrines. If another Dragonite is picked up, it's going to be honestly near impossible for APM to stop with a Dragonite and 20 disadvantage.
It's a very, very good point. We do have 200 bonus stacks for Asmodee. Now he has hit that. Oh, there's a bunch more.
442 bonus damage. Just absolutely insane.
Sage was potentially caught out of position, but then it looks as though the rest of the team was backed up quite a bit. 3 people hit with that Globe of Annihilation, and the Metamorphosis goes down. This is going to be a lot of damage with that. Divine Storm package gets eliminated from the fight. APOC goes down, and Meadowtown and the crew are getting caught very much out of position. Are they going to be able to pick up one more kill? He's Illidan going onto Mr. Savage, body blocking him, trying to get him through the gate. Are they going to be able to apply the pressure? The Overpower goes down, and they are able to secure the kill onto Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, I mean, just that flip onto the Malfurion, displacing him, immediately blowing him up, taking out so much sustain. The single Globe of Annihilation alone forced out Tranquility. Like, it's the amount of power they have at this point in the game is insane. That's going to be a Dragonite, and that should be game in favor of Barrel Boys.
I am thinking of scenarios where they're able to defend if they still had Sergeant Hammer. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. As it is right now, they have, maybe even if they had Emerald Window, that's not even enough time.
They're just going to...
Yeah, there's 5 seconds.
They're just going to blow this up and go straight to the core.
10 seconds. Still 10 seconds on the timer for a good chunk of the team to get
Look
back.
how hard that Dragonite hits them. We're 20-minute Dragonite. Yeah. Just absolutely tearing through this keep. Not quite 1,000. It would be red, Kubi. You know this.
I'm rounding here, Mr. Jake.
Oh, no, they don't want to end it. Okay.
The death timers are all back up. It's a move that they could do. I think it's very possible for them to end here. There's a lot of ways for them to die doing that, though. This is the safe play. Taking out these keeps allows you the catapult push. I mean, the longer the game goes on, the safer it is for Asmodee anyway. Meadowtown dived in a little too far. That heal over time is almost keeping him alive. Not quite. Muradin does fall. This is their ticket of opportunity, and Brightwing is super low.
The globe!
The charge forward and the overpower is enough to get him. He cleansed himself, but it wasn't enough.
474. Is this a record? No, I don't think it's a record.
I think it's about average what you'd see. He ended up slowing down towards the end of the game here.
Diablo picking up Storm Shield. It's so weird that Diablo has Storm Shield. Saw him cast that.
Yes.
Very strange for a tank to have that support ability.
It's a good game. I think that Diablo ended up doing a lot there, though.
Fury, well, his name's Fury. He should be playing
Fury.
a guy named Diablo. It just makes sense. So
Apox were nicely on point. Asmodan was well fed to get that bonus damage on the Globe of
he
Annihilation.
looks like a gluttonous kind of guy. It makes sense that he feeds on, he's the guy that can just feed throughout the game.
Is he the Lord of Gluttony? No. No, it's Lord of Sin.
What's the Lord of Gluttony? What's his name?
Grom? Grom. Not Grom. He's like the sub-boss for Act 3.
Yeah, I remember that fight.
It starts with a
there's
G.
gas everywhere
Yeah, he's
and
like
stuff.
real gross looking.
Guys, tweet us the name
Yeah.
of the Lord of Gluttony. Kubi's got to Google it. Ruining the Twitter potential.
Okay, fine. I'll let them tweet at us so we can figure out what this is.
Okay, so
It starts with a G. What was it? It's gonna drive me nuts. Please, Twitter, save me. Viewers, save me. I need to know what this is. All right, let's figure out who we're gonna be attempting to cast next. We're gonna have to look at the bracket, see what is available. Tempo Storm versus Murlocs is looking favorable. Should we let the chat decide? Let's let the chat decide. Who do you guys want to see? Tempo Storm versus Murlocs Inc. on one side of the semifinals, or Barrel Boys versus the winner of Maelstrom versus Vortex. You guys vote right now. We'll be paying attention.
yeah,
Go to a 5-minute break, and then we'll figure out. We'll try to grab that game for you guys.
Sounds like a plan, guys. We'll be back in just a bit.